Hello and welcome to this video on mycotoxins and what they are from Micron Biosystems. My name's Mike Steele and I'm the Technical Director for Micron Biosystems. So fungi, this is where mycotoxins come from, and fungi can be found everywhere in the environment. They're very useful things because they clear up dead material. So in the soil, on plants, animals, anything that's died, and when they reproduce, they make spores that can occur in the air and they float all over the planet. So fungi are an essential part of the carbon cycle. They return carbon back to the soil, which is a really useful thing. So in most cases, they're breaking down dead substances like leaves or dead grasses and plants or even manure, and they're returning the carbon back to the soil. So most of the time, most of the fungus you don't see. All of the parts of the fungus that you see are their reproductive parts, which are the classic mushroom or toadstool that you see, and these produce the spores that can then travel for miles in the air. So fungi can be really useful, but they can also produce the mycotoxins, which can be quite harmful to us. So they do this when they're under stressful conditions. And these conditions are when the environment changes or when something different happens. So the fungi produce what's called secondary metabolites. And these are the mycotoxin substances or substances they produce to protect themselves from stress or to prepare for reproduction. And so when the environment changes, like temperature or humidity, or in crop situations, when there's damage to the crop, can be physical damage or it can be insect damage, then fungi can start to produce these mycotoxin substances to protect themselves. But these are substances that we don't really want. They can be potentially harmful and they can have production effects in our livestock.
So we know that there are many types of mycotoxins out there. At the moment, over 8,000 types of mycotoxins have been discovered. And of those, we think that there are around 500 that can be harmful to animals and humans. And it's not just that, because each mycotoxin type can have variations. Like some of them may have an added carboxyl group, others an added OH group. And these can change the way that the mycotoxin works. It can decrease or add to its effects. We also know from testing lots of feed samples that mycotoxins almost never occur as just one on its own. They are usually together. And combinations can have additive effects and sometimes synergistic effects, which means that the effect of 1 add 1 is 3 rather than just 2. So, one thing to remember about mycotoxins is that they can survive all kinds of processes, things like brewing. So mycotoxins can appear in beer. They can even survive distilling, so they can appear in spirits. And they can certainly survive food animal processing and appear in foods as well. So it's worth always considering analysing what's appearing in your food samples. Cheers.
So Micron Biosystems produces Ultrasorb mycotoxin remediation products, and these are designed to stop or reverse the damage of mycotoxin contamination. Ultrasorb comes in species-specific formulations, and each of these have 4 modes of action to bind, transform and degrade the mycotoxins and to protect the gut. And to optimize production, feed Ultrasorb daily. There are 4 types of each product for each species. So there's Ultrasorb Normal, Ultrasorb Extra, Ultrasorb Plus and Ultrasorb Core. The Ultrasorb Normal for that species is for the lower risk in mycotoxin contamination. Ultrasorb Extra for a higher risk. Ultrasorb Plus is for high aflatoxin contamination, and Ultrasorb Core is designed for feed mills. Always read the label in each species. We also provide Myco Checkup, which is an app that farmers can use and download to look at their mycotoxin risk. Thank you for listening to this video on Ultrasorb mycotoxin remediation.